Hey, good people. Have not been on live in a minute. Just wanted to share a few words with you on this Monday evening, January 2nd, 2017. I'm going to wait for a few of you to come on. Haven't been on in a minute. Just wanted to share a few things with some good people for 2017 as it relates to relationships. That's what I want to talk about today. Don't settle for less than the best in 2017. So I'll wait a couple more minutes. Don't settle for less than the best in 2017. You can't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm waiting for you. 2017, this is the year for you to get God's best for your life. Good to see you, Miss Bertisha. Yes, hello. I'm going to wait a few minutes. Hey, Miss Barbara Reddick. Have not had a chance to go live in a few days, so I figured I'd take a few minutes as I sit out here on my back porch, listening to the rain, to share a few words with you. Appreciate y'all coming on. What's up, Mika? Good people, let me go ahead and get started. Didn't want to take up too much time today, but let me just share with you. We are at the start of a brand new year, and for those of you who are watching me live or who will watch it later on, I want to just share with you the importance of not settling in any area of your life in 2017. You are far too valuable to settle for less than God's best for your life. I was actually, y'all hit that screen, show me some love. I was actually talking to a friend of mine yesterday, actually one of the members, and I was sharing with her. I said, I honestly believe that 2017 is going to be your year, just looking at where you've come from and how you've allowed God to transform your life. And she said something to me that was very, very interesting, that was very, 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 very good for me to hear it coming from her. She said to me, she says, Pastor, I'm at a point now where I'm fine being by myself. She said, I wasn't like this a few months ago. She said, but I've gotten to the point now where I'm great being by myself. And I shared with her, I said, now you are at a point where God says you're ready for somebody to come into your life. Because again, most times we have a problem being alone. We need companionship. And everybody wants companionship, and I understand that. But you first have to get to the point where you're okay being by yourself, being alone. Because when you look at Adam, when God got ready to send him his helpmeet, his significant other, Adam was at a point that he didn't even recognize that he needed anybody because he was whole by himself. He was okay by himself. God had to say, man, it's not good for you to be alone. And I'm saying to the sisters especially that in 2017, until you're okay being by yourself, until you're okay saying, God, I'm fine. Whether you send me somebody or not, I'm fine. Now, quite naturally, if you want to be married, you want to speak that. But at the same time, if you're not okay being by yourself, you're not ready for a relationship, because most people go into a relationship because they're needy. They don't want to be by themselves. They want somebody to be with them. They want somebody to be at the house with them. But you're not ready for a relationship if that's your thought process. And you got to also understand about men. Men know when ladies are vulnerable. They know when ladies are at a point where they're needy, if you will. And I'm, as you know, with the relationship movement, I am the Enlightenment specialist. So I'm going to take time from time to time to share how men think. Because, again, if I don't share how men think, the women will continue to be bombarded with lies and bombarded with stories that, sort of give the ladies what they want to hear. But at the same time, I want to be able to help us to have healthier relationships in 2017 and beyond. And so when you think about it, again, I want to say this. You've got to be okay being by yourself. If you're not at that point where you can say to yourself, and I'm talking to the ladies right now, where you can say to yourself, I'm okay being by myself. Because it's only going to be at that point that God says, okay, now she's ready for God to send somebody into her life. I can assure you of this, that if you're at a point where you're not okay being by yourself. You can go from relationship to relationship to relationship and find yourself at the same spot you were last year because you're at a point where you feel like you got to have somebody. Now, let me just go a little further with this because the truth of the matter is I've got a few things I want to share tonight from the Enlightenment specialist, which is myself with my relationship movement. The other thing I want you to really understand is this right here. Whenever you start dating someone, and this is for ladies who are in a relationship, men always have a routine. We have a routine. We're going to call a certain amount of times in the day. We're going to stay in touch. We're going to do all those things. Now, the one thing that you always want to do is watch routines. And I'm saying this for brothers as well. We all set patterns. We all set routines. And when that routine changes, obviously there's something else that's changing. Because most times, men, we set the pattern, we set the routine, and then once that pattern starts to break, I can assure you, ladies, that there's something else that's taking place. It's going to come to the excuses, well, I'm working a lot now, or I don't have the time. And most times that's going to happen after they get, and I say they, after the brothers get what they want. Then all of a sudden now the routine changes. And that's why I want to share with the ladies in 2017, don't fall victim to the stories. Don't fall victim to giving up the cookie so quick, because you're going to end up hurting yourself over and over and over again because you're allowing that one piece of life called sex to make you feel like that's going to keep them there. You can do all the sexing you want to, but for a man, he's going to always be looking for something new if that's what you're going to cause you to have that connection, if you will. And so if you feel like sex is going to keep you connected to a man, you are seriously fooling yourself, because that's not going to keep a man. Let me just deal with something else. A real man wants some intellectual stimulation. A real man wants some mental stimulation. If sex is all it's about for you, that's going to be a mighty dry relationship, because at some point or another it's going to get old and you're not going to have anything to build a solid foundation on because you started with the wrong thing. I can't stress this enough to the ladies. I've got to be honest with you. Men have a very different outlook about a relationship than you do. Trust me when I tell you this now. And that's why I'm still trying to figure out why women, you think about this. Brothers want you to come over to their house late at night, or they want to come over to your house, period. Because, again, you have to understand that's how we roll. That's how they think. Men think from the perspective of, I'll go over to your house because I don't know if my girl going to show up at my house. And I'm not saying all men. Now, I'm not trying to put us out there like that as males, but I'm saying that that's how we think. And you've got to be alert enough, ladies, to not continue to keep falling for that same story. Listen, change your philosophy, change your method in 2017. Get to love you first. Love you first. And I can assure you, when you start loving yourself first, it is only then that you can teach somebody else how to love you. Because you got to understand that you are the ones who teach a man how to treat you. A man can only treat you the way you give him permission. Trust me, listen to me. A man will only treat you the way you give him permission to treat you. So if you're complaining about the way he's treating you, trust me, you gave him the license to treat you like that. If a man can disrespect you, call you out of your name, it's because you gave him permission to treat you like that. If a man only shows up at your house after 10 o'clock at night for the booty call, you gave him permission to treat you like that. If a man can call you only once a week or twice a week, trust me, you gave him permission to treat you like that. And I'm saying this because I don't want you to continue to do the same things in 2017 that you have been doing all your life. Learn from your mistakes. If you got to keep going from relationship to relationship, believe me when I tell you this, you have an internal issue going on. You have some unresolved baggage that you have not checked in. Let me just deal with that for a minute. I am convinced, I promise you, I'm 100% convinced that the reason why we jump from relationship to relationship is because we're trying to find someone or something to fill that void that we have in our lives. that void. Maybe your dad wasn't in your life. Maybe you got abused as a child, and you don't know no other way to deal with your sexual abuse than to just keep going from relationship to relationship. That's not the way to do it. You got to get some counseling. You got to get some therapeutic help in order to deal with those things. And that's what happens a lot of time. We think that we go from relationship to relationship, that'll make me sort of not have to think about the stuff that's really going on inside of me. And there are too many people that I see in relationships who go from relationship to relationship. Oh, he's special. Oh, he's the one. You said that about the last 5. At some point, you got to realize that it's not them, it's you. You got some internal baggage, some internal issues that you have not dealt with. And until you deal with that, you're going to keep making the same mistakes over and over again. I wrote a post today earlier, and the post actually talked about dating with the intent of not getting married. It's like going to the grocery store without no money. You're going to leave there unhappy, or you're going to leave there with something that you're not supposed to have. And I'm saying that that's how many people do from time to time, from relationship to relationship. They go into a relationship and they go in with selfishness, meaning they're trying to fill a selfish niche, if you will. And so what ends up happening is there's no intent for marriage. There's no intent for anything other than we're just good friends. Listen, this day and age we all talk about, that's just my friend. No, for a man, that's just my sexual friend. Listen, we're not, I don't even want to go into that, but I'm just trying to help you to understand in 2017, you have to be real with yourself, be honest with yourself, and ask yourself, do I have any unresolved issues that I really have not dealt with? Am I really just going from relationship to relationship trying to fill an empty void that I have in my life? And let me just go and be honest with you. The only way that void can be filled in your life is with God. God has to fill that emptiness that's in your life. If you are at a point where you have to keep going from relationship to relationship, have to have a man in your life, it's because there's an emptiness, there's a void, there's some baggage that you have not dealt with in your past. I was thinking about something the other day, and it's really true as far as with men concerned. And again, I'm just trying to share, not trying to blow the whistle on men or anything like that, because I've been one for 56 years. And I know the game probably better than anybody else who's out there. And I'm not saying I'm a master at it, but I know the games, and I'm saying it because I played the games, and I'm just being as transparent as I can in my time with you today. We have a hunting spirit. Men have a hunting spirit. It's in my book. We have a hunting spirit. So watch this. If you think about it like this, men can go out into the woods with their gun, go up in a deer stand, stay there all day long, and look for a deer to come by, and stay there hoping that a deer passes by. A man could go on the fish creek to the pond or wherever, to the river, and go out there all day and hope he catches some fish, hope he gets a bite. In the same way, when a man meets a woman, he's going to put his best foot forward. He's going to give it his all until he gets the catch. Once he gets the catch, it's not as exciting anymore, and so things start to change with him. And you got to understand that's the hunting nature. That's the hunting spirit in a man. That's who we are. And so, again, you think about it. You ask a man, what do you really want in a woman? He'll say, with good looks, good sex, a woman who can cook. So it's never any of the stimulating mental, intellectual stuff. It's always the surface stuff, because men are visual. That's why a man, if he's a real man, if he sees a nice, fine woman walk by, he's going to look. That's just the nature of a man. And I'm saying this because, women, I want you to understand that we are wired totally different from you. We have different thought processes than you. You guys are the nurturers. You guys are the people who want to make sure things are right. We are totally wired differently. We want you to just tell us what you want. Don't just keep going through all this stuff. Just tell us what you want. We like to fix stuff. We like to make sure, that we are the ones who are making things happen. And so I'm saying this, and I don't want to sound like I'm jumping from place to place, but I'm trying to throw some things out there so that you understand how we think. So I'm going to close with this because I don't want to be long. I'm saying this for all of you who are on here for 2017. Whatever you do, don't settle. Don't shortchange yourself in a relationship this year. Listen, if he's not going to give you 100%, don't even go for it. I'm just saying this because I'm trying to encourage you not to have the same type of years in the past that you have in this year. You can't say I didn't start this year. I'm trying to encourage you to not fall victim to the same stuff that you've been falling victim over or with for the past few years. Don't settle. You're worth more than that. God has somebody who will value who you are. Trust me. He has somebody out there that will appreciate who you are. If you got to wonder where you stand in a relationship, trust me, stop standing and start walking. I'm going to say it again. If you have to start wondering where you stand in a relationship, what are we doing? I mean, so you're going into 2017 with the same questions that you had in 2016. So, honey, what are we doing? What are we doing? Well, again, if you got to wonder where you stand, it's time to start walking. Don't go into 2017 with the same mindset that you had in the past. Get him to share with you where we're going. What are we doing? What are your expectations? What are our expectations? And if they can't articulate it, I promise you, you're wasting good time. Somebody else is waiting to really become a part of your life. If you just get to the place, number one, where you're okay being by yourself, then God says you're ready for someone to come into your life. Listen, I appreciate y'all coming on. We give a few shout outs as I look down here. Emma Jones, Britt Shanae, good to have all y'all on here. I appreciate it. I would go on a little bit further, but I don't want to take up too much time. I thank all of you guys for coming on. I want y'all to share this video. Again, I may come on again tomorrow or Wednesday and just share a few more nuggets from the Enlightenment specialist with the My Relationship Movement. Oh, yeah, by the way, if you have not joined the My Relationship Movement, please go to My Relationship Movement on Facebook. Join us. We have a lot of great videos on there. Elisa Lachelle's on there. Tracy Knighton is on there. And myself, there's great information that we're going to be posting. Even later today, we got an announcement coming up later tonight. You don't want to miss it. I promise you, do not shortchange yourself this year. Don't settle this year. I need you to also put February the 4th on your calendar. We'll give you more information about that later on tonight. Mark your calendars for February 4th. February 4th, it's going to be an afternoon full of information that's going to bless your life. Appreciate y'all coming on. I definitely do not take this for granted, but I thank y'all for coming on. Again, I'm going to close out with the same thought. Don't settle in 2017. If you have to wonder where you stand with a person in your relationship, it's time to start walking. I was always taught, cut your losses short early. That's the best advice I got from a businessman years ago. If you see that you're about to drown in your relationship, if you see the relationship not going anywhere, cut your losses short early and trust God to bring somebody in who's going to appreciate you, who's going to value you. Y'all be blessed. Thank y'all so much for coming on. Share the video. Hit the screen before you go off. Show me some love. Appreciate y'all coming on. I really want y'all to share this video. I just wanted to share a few things with you, and I appreciate y'all coming on. Y'all be blessed. Have a great night. Hit that screen. Show some love. I'm going back inside and kick up my feet. Bye.